Check, 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 3, 4. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Check, check, check. 1, 2. Good. Awesome. Good, good. Check, check. Good. Mic check. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check. Check. 3, 4. Mic check. You good? He's having issues? All right. Check 3, 4, mic check. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Check, check. Ooh. Check 3, 4, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. There you go. It's a good sign. Check, 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 check 3, 4. Check. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Check, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, test, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, check, checking, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, mic check. You got it, Carlos? Nope, not working yet, still kind of going. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Good? Anybody else? That's good, good. Okay.
Close if you don't mind.
Come on, Deb.
No? What are you messing with me with? I don't want it to stress it. Yeah. Alright. Excellent.
on me. Do you need one?
Yeah. I think I stressed that HDMI cable out.
Let's see if I can get you one. Hold on. Still got 2 minutes?
Everybody ready? All right, good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Ray Spencer. I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I'm out here today to update you on the investigation that we have been conducting for the last 2 days. So this morning, I provided a press conference where I provided some information in regards to an Amber Alert, and we were looking to identify a father and an 11-year-old child. You've probably since learned that we have located both the father and the 11-year-old child, and they are both well in Utah. I kind of want to walk you through some details of what occurred late last night into this morning. So I told you earlier again how at around midnight we received a phone call from a panicked mother who stated that she had seen news coverage and was confident that the photograph that she observed on TV was her son. That phone call prompted police to respond. The watch commander notified me at home, where I then spoke with the mother. She shared some photographs with me, and we discussed some details regarding her son. At that point, after getting those details, I sent detectives along with someone from the Clark County Coroner's Office to her house to investigate further. The detectives, along with the coroner, spoke with the mother. The Clark County Coroner's Office provided photographs from autopsy to the mother of the child that was found at Mountain Springs. The mother positively identified that child as being her son, the 8-year-old child that I talked about this morning. She then signed an affidavit with the coroner's office stating that. Another family member also viewed the same photographs and identified the child as being the 8-year-old that I mentioned this morning. In addition to that, we learned that there was a half-brother who was also missing along with the 8-year-old. We spoke with the mother of that child, who stated that she had also seen the the news coverage of the case from yesterday. She also believed that the photograph that was shown was the half-brother of her son. At that point, from interviewing her, she provided details that she had not seen or heard from her son, as well in the last 24 hours and was also concerned for his welfare. With those details that were provided, we immediately began working, trying to locate both the father and the 11-year-old that were missing. And that was taking place early this morning at around 5 and 6 o'clock this morning. At about the same time, social media posts were posted basically linking these two cases. I'm not going to get into the specifics of those posts that went out this morning, but we began to receive multiple phone calls linking both cases. At that point, due to the fact that we had some serious concerns for the welfare of the missing 11-year-old, that is when we held the press conference this morning and shared his photograph along with the photograph of the father. As a result of that news coverage, immediately after the press conference, we began to receive information that they were spotted in Utah. At that point, we held off on the Amber Alert. Authorities in Utah began assisting us, and we were able to locate both the father, the 11-year-old, and also the 8-year-old child. We got confirmation about an hour and a half ago through FaceTime that the 8-year-old was in fact alive. So what has occurred is that the misidentification that started over in the middle of the night, we are still in the situation right now where we have not identified the child that was found out in Mountain Springs yesterday morning. I stress we are still working around the clock trying to identify this child. He is an 8 to 10-year-old Hispanic male. He's 123 pounds. And again, the sketch that was provided earlier, we are working on an updated sketch. I've been in communication with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they are working on getting us a digitally enhanced photograph, and hopefully we will have that tomorrow that we can provide. So again, that's just an outline of where we are at. We are still scouring hundreds of tips that we are receiving, and detectives again are continuing to work around the clock. With that, I'll take a couple questions. Ricky?
How far back does this set your investigation into the actual homicide? And is it discouraging?
Again, we're very happy that the mother was able to get the news that her 8-year-old child was found alive. Again, that is, and the 11-year-old child was found unharmed. That is the exact reason that we pushed out all the information that was pushed out this morning. As far as the investigation never stops. Even when we have one lead and we are working in one direction, we are still taking all those tips, and we still have people that are working incoming tips as they are coming. Obviously, we're taking a look at everything that has came in over the last 36 hours, but again, it's still very active.
Did the father ever explain why he wasn't in touch with these mothers sooner, why it took so long to get in touch with them?
And yes, I'm glad you brought that up. He was in an area in central Utah with no cell phone coverage. So he was able to, family members were able to get a hold of him this morning after the press conference, and then he was able throughout the afternoon to make it to a location where there was cell phone service, and that's when the cell phone call was placed at about 2 o'clock this afternoon to us.
Can you tell us anything about any promising leads that you might have at this point?
I'm not going to get into any specific leads as far as trying to identify. We are doing everything we can. We are still in the same position I was yesterday when I was asking for any assistance any of your viewers can provide. Please, we are staffing an around-the-clock call center, taking tips as they come in. Sean?
Could you go into a little bit about the urgency of making that call this morning to put these pictures out, even when obviously some things were up in the air, we knew exactly what was going on, but the reason why it was important to get that out there in the first place?
Well, the reason is when the information that is provided, we are going to do everything that we can when a child's the safety of a child is involved. And that is exactly what we did this morning. And again, I talked about there was information that was circulating on Facebook a little sooner than we would have liked to have done. But again, with the information, with a positive identification through the coroner's office, the multiple different things that I discussed, that information, we are going to come public and do everything we can to locate a potential person that we're concerned about. Yes?
Is this your normal protocol, having the family identify through
As far as the coroners, I'd have to refer you to the Clark County Coroner's Office for their normal protocol on how they do identifications.
Let's say in a week or two, somebody comes forward and says that this is their child, would you guys be doing anything differently rather than having them just identify through pictures?
Again, when you deal with identifications, that is the Clark County. We don't deal with identifications at the police department. The identifications are made through the Clark County Coroner's Office. Once the Coroner's Office has made an identification, that is when we begin and we start working forward once that identification has been made. Caitlin?
After seeing the pictures from the autopsy, do you know why the mother thought it was her child? Did they just look alike?
I've looked at these photos. Detectives have looked at these photos, and the mother has looked at these photos. There is a very, very close resemblance when you look at the photographs and the autopsy photographs and the child, the 8-year-old child. And I'll just leave it at that. Yes.
How many mothers? Was it just one mother that misidentified, or two?
Well, one that was actually shown photographs that made a misidentification. However, the other mother had seen photographs that were shown, or the sketch that was shown. It was her statements that she also stated that she believed that the child shown in the photograph or in the sketch was in fact Daniel as well.
And at this point, how high was your confidence level, considering all of those things, all those identifications that you had with the correct child?
Well, again, as an investigator, you continue to take all leads as they come in. You don't rule out anything, even when, as I mentioned earlier, as these tips are still coming in, we are still planning for contingencies as far as if, in fact, this is not a person that we're looking for, we're going to have another plan and a different path. And that is exactly what we have been doing all throughout the afternoon and, again, all throughout the night. We're, I think, 36 hours into this, and we have a full team of investigators working around the clock.
Can you confirm that 8-year-old's name?
The 8-year-old...
Eden's brother.
Okay, at this point, no, I cannot.
You just mentioned a name saying Daniel.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to get in a confirmation of a name. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right.